Okay, welcome back to Dragon Ball Anime Review, Part 7. This are me. Here, get here. Now, this arc was roughly about 19 episodes. It covered I think it was episodes 83 to 101. Issue 1 is really new characters, new concepts that made they do this arc. Well, yes. Well, this arc has debut of the Crane Master. Yes, and he has a history with Roshi. A very somewhat bad history. These two don't like each other. Also, if you listen to his voice actor, how he talks, it's Pilaf. Yep, it's the same actor voices Pilaf, which I think this is one of 3 characters I've heard this guy voice. Of course, aside from Pilaf and Shin, he's the Crane Hermit. He also voiced a character named Garlic Jr., who appeared in the Dead Zone movie and appeared in his own self-titled saga in DBZ. Who surprisingly not only sounded like Pilaf, he looked almost exactly like Pilaf. Yeah, though has some similarities to the next King Piccolo. Yep, and we also had a debut of one other character, and that was the Wolfman. All these comes off Man Wolf. We also have a debut of a celebrity kickboxer who was also an actor. Who, when I first saw him, and when he was announced who his opponent was, yeah, I knew this guy was going to be taken out so easily by Goku. His match was less. Saga. Now, when they had the last saga in the series, they actually had sort of a training montage for this one. Well, this one, they just simply dealt with that via the filler episodes that took up the last saga of the series. Yep. I think it was 113 to about, I think it was 150 something, I think it was. Where, it was 50? Yeah, I think 150 something when they covered this particular. The game quite long. Yeah, it's considered by far, if you look at all the sagas of the series, this is the third longest in the entire series. It's longer than all the previous arcs. Yeah. Tien, who basically he's a self-titled character, this self-titled arc, yeah, he actually used a few things that he would use frequently the whole series. One move of his he actually does do is something that the rest of the characters in the franchise learn to use, and that's the ability to fly. Yep, him and Chaozu actually fly. Yeah, which they're the only characters at this point in time who actually can do that. Because if you think of how happens DBZ, every single character in the entire franchise flies. Characters martial artists are Roshi, Chi-Chi, and Yajirobe. Yeah, they don't fly. Just interesting. Else flies, but not these two, not these 3. Nope. Yeah, surprisingly, Chi-Chi was never taught to fly. In the series, she just 130. It was 113 to 134. That's the chapters this arc adapts. So we arrive at the tournament. We sign up. Of course, Goku was late. And then of course, Goku gets a brand new outfit. Of course, he arrived via Link wearing a loincloth. He gets a brand new attire. This is his 3rd outfit he's worn in the series. Yep, third outfit because this is his 3rd training outfit because the first one he had was destroyed when he turned in. This is, of course, the orange outfit he's now wearing in the series. The first one was destroyed when he turned into Ozaru. The second one, which got damaged, which was originally Krillin's, it got damaged in a fight with River Robbie, so he got a brand new attire. Yeah, and that outfit lasts until. That new outfit he got, that was the third one he got replaced. Yeah. Where this outfit, third one, got burned by Shu, who they took his outfit. So yeah, by the end of this one, he's already gone through 4 gis already. Yeah, that's Goku for you. Krillin doesn't lose any gis. Nope, he doesn't. Don't know why, but he doesn't. So after everybody signs up, so they, of course, also this is also the time that Yamcha wears his signature gi that he wear. Whenever you see him fight in this series, he wears this outfit. Oh, and I forgot to mention this in the Red Renari saga. They actually, if you remember his sword he had in the original saga of Emperor Pilaf, he had a sword, which apparently he kept in Bulma's house, which that was the only time it appeared after his debut appearance. After that, the sword never appeared again, which I'm like, really, Yamcha? Why would you lose your sword for? Yeah, I don't know why. Of course, Roshi's back being Jackie Chun again, and he actually works with, well, Krillin, Goku, and Yamcha. Of course, Tien is there. Of course, Goku remembers him because, Shika-chan, who has appeared in a filler episode, but look enough, Goku actually does remember them. Yeah, he remembers them pretty well. Yeah, he does. So after they eliminate all of course, they have one character who appears here, who is King Choppa. Here is in roughly 3 episodes in the entire series. Well, in Dragon Ball, because I don't think he appeared in DBZ. Nothing I can think of. No, he first appeared in one of the elimination episodes. He appeared in the elimination round where Goku fought, and he beat him after a pretty brief battle. And then he returned once in King Piccolo, and then he returned again Piccolo Jr., and that was it. Because I don't think as far as I remember from watching ZBZ, he never appeared in DBZ at all. There was Andre the Great, which I think this character is, from what I can tell, he's probably based upon the late awesome wrestler known as Andre the Giant. Appearance-wise, he's almost a spitting image of him, except two differences by him. Like, appearance-wise, he's exactly the same like the legendary wrestler who actually passed away in 1993, except there's a couple differences. Actually, three. One, he did speak with a French accent, because Andre the Giant was French. Second, his hair color is different. Yeah, Andre had I think he was a brunette, if I remember. He also had sideburns. While this guy is a redhead, he's clean shaved, he has no sideburns and all. Aside from that, the one other thing about him, this guy is clearly bigger than Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant was billed to being like over 7 feet tall, which that was mostly true from what I've heard stories about him, because a lot of the stories I've heard about Andre the Giant was very positive. Yeah, like one good example of this is that he was able to drink 20 bottles of wine and not be drunk. Yeah, apparently he had a very high tolerance for alcohol, which I thought that was interesting. Or him basically paying for food, even if he was the guest. Yeah, he had a humongous reputation for that. And he was actually close friends with Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon. Both the current Vince McMahon and his father are very close friends. Yeah, I heard a lot of awesome things about Andre the Giant, but I personally, in case you wondering, could I ever meet him? Well, no, because he passed away when I was... Let's see, it was 1983 when he passed away. I believe I was 5 years old when he passed away, so I never met him. No, I never met him. I never talked to any wrestler who actually met him. Like, if I meet Hulk Hogan, I probably would ask him about Andre the Giant, 'cause I'm sure he has tons of stories to tell about Andre the Giant. Yep. This Andre the Great, as he's called, he is humongous. Like, he's bigger than Andre himself. This guy looks like he's about 10 feet tall. I'm like, how can he fit in the frickin' building? Andre was never this frickin' tall. Also, Andre was billed to be about 500 pounds. Yeah, plus he also, toward the end of his life, he had back problems. And the fact that later he couldn't even frickin' walk. Yeah, that's why I've heard about him. I've seen footage of him basically walking on frickin' crutches. This guy, I mean, if you look at this guy, aside from the hair, the clean-shaven look, and the fact he's clearly bigger, he's almost a spitting image of Andre the Giant. This character is probably clearly based upon him, but not to the exact T as it was with Major Talentron in the Red Ribbon Army Saga. But it's interesting, though, that they actually made a nod to him. Heck, he's even wearing the same type of wrestling tights that Andre the Giant was known for wearing, which is basically a Speedo look with a big belly. Yeah, though, from what I've heard, he did wear a singlet. Well, a one-strap singlet, starting with his WrestleMania 3 match against Hulk Hogan at the Silverdome. Yeah. So Krillin fights him and beats him pretty easily by simply grabbing by his finger and throwing him out of the ring. Goku backers King Champa and defeats him. Jackie Chan beats him pretty easily. In the case of Tien, he nearly kills his freaking opponent. He pretty much puts him in the hospital, which a lot of people are like, yeah, that's not necessary. So, we're set on the matches. First match, Yamcha versus Tien. Second match, Krillin versus... It wasn't Jackie Chan, no. I think it was Krillin versus Chaozu. Yeah, it was Chaozu in round 2. Goku fought the prize fighter match 8. Jackie Chan fought a Wolfman. I believe that was match 3 because it was like 4 matches. Yeah, that was all the matches. Who won these matches? Tien beat Yamcha after he beat him. And he also broke his freaking leg. Krillin defeated Chaozu by giving him math problems and then retracted that way, throw him out of the ring. Yep. Also, he had this thing where, like, first time he sees him, he says, midget. And then second time he says, baldy. And he's like, look who's talking. And of course, Chaozu does have one single hair in his head. Also, when he was fighting Krillin, he had this thing where he took a towel out of his pocket and rubbed his shiny head. Also, is it just me, or is the way the animation looks here is that, okay, his hands and face are chalk white with the red little thing. But at one point, I thought, and this I thought was, I think this might have been an animation glitch. Now, I don't think it was an animation of this because it might have been Toei. That at one point it looked like that part of his neck, you can see that it could have been makeup he was wearing. Yeah. Let's see. How in the case of Jackie Chan and the Wolfman? Well, Jackie Chan kind of tricked the Wolfman to run out of the ring. The Wolfman himself was actually mad at him. The grudge actually stemmed from the last tournament. Why? Because he destroyed the moon, thus trapping the Wolfman, the man-wolf, in his form. So he couldn't turn back to human form. So, after Jackie Chan defeated him, of course this is Master Roshi, he has Krillin to come over, have Krillin substitute as the moon, hypnotize him, think he's seen the moon, and transforms back into a odd-looking guy. I'm not going to say he's ugly, just have him come odd, and then he write him up, and he never see this guy again, because I don't think he returns after this. No, I don't think he ever does. Then you have Goku versus the Prize Fighter, which at one point they had this whole license thing and about movies. Yeah, I think that's actually a play on the actual franchise itself, where it actually has had a lot of movies. Like, in case you're wondering, how many movies has this whole franchise had? I think it's close to about 15, 16 films overall. Of course, the last one was released like, I think it was like a year ago, I think it was. With the Dragon Ball Super Broly film, which was really awesome, by the way. Yeah, that was the most recent film. Now, in case you remember the films for this series, mostly they were just readaptations of what we've seen before, but with just some new stories added to it. I will eventually get to them when I get a chance to talk about them. Yep. And after they beat these matches, okay, for round 2, we have Tien versus Jackie Chan, and the other match is Goku versus Krillin. That was a pretty interesting battle. But in the case of Tien versus Jackie Chan, this was a pretty brutal battle. And then Jackie Chan was saying some stuff to him that kind of had Tien questioning his beliefs, the teachings that the Crane Hermit told him. And this basically led to him turning against his master toward the end of the arc. Yeah. Also, I thought it was a quite interesting little plot point. This is something you follow up from the Commander Red saga, which this mostly takes place 3 years after that. Yeah, Goku, when he sees that Chaozu is using the Dodon Ray, which is something that he basically has had an encounter with that, thanks to his encounter with Mercenary Tao, he mentioned, hey, that was moving Mercenary Tao use. You know Mercenary Tao? Yeah, I defeated him. You killed him? Yeah, I did. And it turned out, though, that mercenary Tao was indeed the Crane Hermit's brother. So Tien ran to tell his master about this, and he has like, Master, I have something important to tell you. Can it wait? No, it can't. And he hears like, what? Goku killed my brother? That kid killed my brother. Yeah, and of course, yeah, and they easily have pointed out though about this, about how Shin and Tao look nothing like, and yet they're brothers. It's kind of the same thing with Roshi and Baba, where they're siblings and they look nothing like except for the whiskers. I'm like, okay. So yeah. And Jackie Chan actually forfeits his match by simply walking out of the ring. And Tien is actually shocked by this, which kind of changes his stuff. Kind of sets the stage for him turning against Shao. And then we have Krillin versus Goku. This was a pretty cool battle. And this, of course, about a couple episodes was done really well. And then we have Counter with the other group in a restaurant, mind you. Oh yeah, and also the thing with Chaozu. Afterwards, basically, Shin gave him math lessons. Yeah. Yep. And then, of course, well, after the whole thing of finding out about Goku killing Tao, Shao basically was like, okay, Tien and Chaozu asleep. I'm going to sneak out of my room and I'm going to kill Goku. And then he sneaks out, hops across the buildings, just happens to find where Goku is staying. As for how in the world he found out he was staying in this hotel, that's never explained. And he sneaks like a freaking cat burglar, uses some kind of tool to cut open the glass, opens the sliding door, and then uses his hand to try to go Goku. Of course, Goku dodges it, and he's like very sleepy. And then he sees, oh crap, you're here. And then he runs after him. And Krill runs after him too. And Rose like, don't go. And he trips on his own self. And then we have Goku versus the Crane Hermit briefly, until it's broken up by Tien. He says, not here. This is not the time to do this. Let me handle him in the ring. Of course, Tien's like, this is for Mercenary Tao. And Goku's like, this is for Yamcha. And then they have their match the very next day. And both of them arrive, no problem at all. They both arrive perfectly on time. And they have their match over the course of 3 episodes. Like, wow. That is quite something for this lengthy battle. Aside from introducing his ability to fly, these episodes also introduce a few moves he's known for having. Well, basically, it uses Solar Flare, which is a move Krillin would later use in this final arc for Super. The Tri-Beam Cannon, which was a very deadly move. Him growing 200 arms out of his freaking back. Also, during that period of time, Goku managed to pin him down and put him in the walls of Jericho. Though, in case you went with this wrestling move, the official name of this wrestling move is a Texas Cloverleaf. But I have heard it also been called, when I say, oh look, it's the walls of Jericho. And I'm sure if Chris Jericho saw this episode, he'd probably like, hey, he stole my move before I start using it. Though this episode came out in '88. Like 2 years before he started his wrestling career, because I've heard that Chris Jericho started his wrestling career back in 1990. When I was 2. Yeah. And let's see. Oh yeah. There's also the volleyball technique, which I don't think he uses this technique after this. Shin says, oh yeah, this is his favorite technique. And then, afterwards, then Chaozu is forced by Shin to interfere in their match to paralyze Goku. After 4 times, that's when Tien notices. Goku notices at the first couple, is like, I'm getting tired of this. At the 3rd time, Yamcha finally notices it. And Launch tries to stop them, but she's stopped by Shin. Yep. And then Shin, of course, basically is told to knock it off by Tien. And he's about to hurt him, and all of a sudden, Master Roshi wants to get a better seat. Just hops behind the thing. Oh, Master, this is for reserved for fighters only. And he's like, don't make an exception for me. Which they say nothing about this at all. I'm sure the judge officials have no problem having a legend martial artist like Master Roshi back there, especially since he's their master. He's their teacher, so it's perfectly fine. As far as I know, I don't think he ever did this ever again. Yeah, I don't think he ever did any tournaments after the second one. I don't think he participated in the 23rd one, which he had in the Piccolo Jr. saga. Not that I remember, no. May have, but it's been a while since I watched Piccolo Jr., which is the debut of the Piccolo character we see in DBZ. And then when he uses his Tri-Beam Cannon, of course, after he launched up the Crane Hermit, he is not actually seeing it until the final saga of the series. After the Piccolo Jr. saga wraps up, the Crane Hermit is, as far as I know, never seen again in the series. Yeah, I think he's mentioned a few times after this, but appearance-wise, I don't think he appears in DBZ. No, I don't think so, no. Yeah, and then when you have Tien uses the Tri-Beam Cannon, which destroys the ring, and of course I was like, what would happen? And then we have Goku in the air surviving the blast, and then him and Tien briefly fighting in the air, and then he uses his last bit of energy to launch himself right at Tien and launch him on freaking belly, and try to figure out whoever lands first is declared loser, who lands second is the winner. And the announcer basically is like, okay, excuse me, I'm gonna take care of this. And he flies on his on his basically his, I would say his flying motorcycle, which is a shark, by the way. He uses a capsule to bring it out, and he basically follows the fighters when they fall to the ground. And then Goku hits the ground first, thanks to hitting a truck, which I'm like, that's kind of changed how I remember, because I kind of remember this fight happening a little differently how it ended, where Goku hit the ground first, and then Tien landed on top of a freaking car. Yeah, I remember that happening here. That must have happened in some other series, but yeah, that is how that ended. And of course, Tien is declared the winner. And of course, well, with Crane Hermit gone, they don't know what to do. It's like, I can train in your place. Nah, I can't. I can switch schools. But don't worry, he does become friends with him. He probably does train with him. And then they go like, okay, let's go out to the finest restaurant with basically Tien treat. Like, okay. And of course, Goku, he offers Goku half the money. He's like, nah, you can keep it. But, yeah. So, they go off and Goku realizes, oh crap, I forgot my Dragon Ball and my Power Pole. He's about to go like, don't worry, I'll go. Krillin decides to go. And this is where the series starts to get dark. Because Goku doesn't eat. And he starts to get worried. So he runs off. He senses something, and he runs out back to the World Martial Arts Stadium, and he sees a shocking scene. The announcer is there. He's basically knocked out, and Krillin is dead. Yeah, killed by a monster. This monster is later being the character known as Tambourine in the King Piccolo arc. But yeah, the final episode ends with the dead Krillin in Goku's arms. Oh, in case you're wondering, this is later started trope in the series of how many times can he kill Krillin? Oh, yes. This is, in case you're wondering, this is the only time he dies in Dragon Ball. He dies twice in DBZ. Yeah, he dies twice. Yeah, when he dies in DBZ, it becomes a joke. Here, it's not a joke. It's taken very seriously. And he stays dead for a long period of time. Longer than Upa's father was dead. He was dead for, probably not as long as this, but he was dead for some time. Yeah, but not as long as Krillin was dead for. Krillin was dead for 21 episodes. Yeah. And, yeah, what a way to end the saga with the death of Krillin. Yeah, and this is also a fun fact about this particular saga. This is the last of the comedy sagas they have for the Dragon Ball franchise until Majin Buu. Yeah, it becomes very dark and serious after this. Though, it has some comedic moments after this, but not like over the top like it was since the start of the series. Yep, so that's it for single review. Now, my next video is going to be reviewing News Channel One Punch Man, but I'm going to make an announcement right here that I am reviving a video review series I have not touched in 3.5 years. What video review series am I reviving? I am reviving my Super Sentai review series. Yes, watching a film, watching the 35th anniversary, reignited my interest in the Super Sentai series. So, I am basically going to do this. Basically, like I do my anime review stuff, where basically I review like 8, 10 episodes, I'm going to do this with Super Sentai. Yep, starting with the second Super Sentai, Chuck. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. JQU. I'm going to start with that one, and I'm going to go forward. I'm going to do this along with my anime reviews. Oh, and in case you're going to ask, yes, I'm still planning to do ReZero eventually when I finish reading the light novels. Okay? But yeah, do this next video, which will be One Punch Man. Bye.